YouTube, it's T and I'm back with another video. So for today's video, I'm going to jump right in and go over a few lessons that 2020 taught me. Okay, so my first tip is to be selfish with your energy. So in 2020, a lot of people, had fallouts, friendships ended, relationships ended, bonds were broken, and I feel like we had to redefine what our lives were because we're so used to exerting that energy and giving into that person. And I feel like, in 2020, what's going on lockdown and us being in a pandemic, we had to learn how to be selfish in a way with our energy because there was no guarantee or a promise or a real plan of what tomorrow, next week, was going to look like. So I feel like that's a hard lesson that all of us had to learn in some type of way. Maybe you lost a friend, or maybe you're not as close to a friend. Maybe you had a toxic relationship or whatever. It's best to get out of it and do right by yourself and be selfish with how much you give on to people because at the end of the day, their problems are not your problems. It is up to you to take care of yourself because no one's going to care for you the same way that you can. Some people are just friends or around you just to get the benefit of you rather than doing what's best and right by you. The next thing 2020 taught me is to give signs of passions that you kind of let go. So I was kind of in a dark place 90% of 2020. A lot of people passed away that were super close to me. And I kind of pushed writing. Like I do poetry all the time on this channel. So I kind of pushed away from that. And I kind of regretted that until I kind of felt like the moment I had to do something. So I did a poetry I recited a poem for my best friend. She passed away this year, a couple of months ago, and it's been kind of hard to find my love and interest to write because it used to bring me a lot of joy. But it's kind of hard when you're like blinded and kind of have a lot of thoughts going on. You're trying to be in the moment. And I've realized I actually do have a lot of passion for what I write and what I do, and I have opened up the floor to a lot of things. Like I became a plant mom. Before she passed away, we had matching plants, and it's growing pretty good. So give time to open up to passions that you probably forgot about. Maybe you used to draw a lot. I know that was the skill that I practiced on the beginning of the pandemic, but I kind of fell off. But I've been trying to get back into it since we're on break from school. And then I want to start my YouTube back up because I miss posting videos. I miss getting in front of the camera and doing stuff. So make sure you're putting your time and energy into stuff that you're really passionate about. And I recommend you watch a movie called Soul that just came out on Disney Plus. I don't want to give any spoilers in case anybody wants to watch it, but I feel like you have to redirect your energy into your passions to understand and feel like there's a reason I'm getting out of bed this morning. There's a reason why I do the things that I do because I'm passionate about it versus going through the motions. Another thing 2020 unfortunately taught me is sometimes it's best to let go. So tell me if there's ever been a time where you've been really close to somebody, you guys fall out, you take this person back, you talk to them, you try to work things out, and you keep kind of doing that same thing over and over again. Eventually it gets tiring and it weighs a lot of stuff out on you. And sometimes you can't keep fixing a friendship or a relationship. Some things are just broken and they're meant to stay broken. Not everyone can stay in your life forever and, ride the wave of life out forever. At some point, it's time for them to get off. Maybe you guys grew apart. Maybe they're going a different direction than you, and that's perfectly okay. If it was meant to be, in my honest opinion, at some point you guys will get back on track. But at some point, you do have to be comfortable with letting go because sometimes hanging on to that person or that thing is more toxic to you and more damaging than what you really think it is. And that's a really hard thing to, confess up to. sometimes people are not healthy for you, or a habit you have is not good for you in the long run. But because you guys have been close for so long, or you guys have gone through so much together, it's kind of hard to let go and grow out of that. Like, oh, but we did this together. Oh, we've been close for this many years, X, Y, or Z. Unfortunately, at some point, you have to let go of that person. And they might not even be toxic. You guys just might be outgrowing each other slowly. And at some point, whether you like it or they like it, you're going to have to let go. It goes back to my first tip of being like selfish with your energy. As much as you don't want to let that person go, ask yourself, are they respecting you? Are they appreciating you? Are they doing stuff outside of you? And what are you doing to make you a better person? If you can't answer those questions and feel confident and comfortable with your answer, then you need to rethink your friendship in that relationship. It is okay to let something go. It is okay to say, we had a good friendship, but it is time for you to go now. And as much as you're going to probably cry about it or it's going to be hard on you, sometimes the best decision is to just let go and move on. The next thing 2020 taught me was to set intentions. So I know a lot of people, we have New Year's resolutions, New Year's is coming up, and usually the top three things that I hear is I want to be healthier, I want to have body goals, I want to travel, or I want to become more organized, or I want to have this dream job, I want to move, something in that little area of lifestyle. You have to set the tone for yourself, but you also have to do the work behind it to achieve that goal. So you have to remember to set your intentions. If you go in blank, some of us are not, goal setters or goal chasers. I completely understand that. I respect it. But at the end of 2019, I created a vision board and I had a notebook to keep all like 21 goals for 2020. I achieved all of them except for one, and that was not my fault. So the last one, if you're wondering, it was to act on stage, but due to COVID, a lot of things have been shut down. So I wasn't able to do that, but I achieved 99% of my goals, and that's still an A in my book. You have to set intentions for yourself. If you feel like in your head, okay, I said I was going to read 100 books by the end of the year, when you're like, I don't have anything to do, it's like, oh, I actually have a lot to do because I kind of set these intentions, this long list of things that I want to do by the end of the year, and I'm not even at a halfway point. Don't get me wrong, life happens, but I feel more motivated to get out of bed and do stuff when I have set intentions for what I want to do. If you're moving with your intentions, like if you have a goal, you have a reason why you're doing it, then you're most likely going to be more motivated and less likely to be like, I don't want to do it or I don't care to do it. You're going to have those days, but they're going to be far in between if you're setting the intentions for yourself with a good reason behind it. For example, a lot of people say in 2020, I'm going to lose weight. And then COVID hit, we're on lockdown. And at the end of the year, usually people are like, I didn't achieve my goal. Why didn't I achieve it? Did you follow your intentions? Did you set them correctly? Setting an intention is not just, I'm going to lose weight. Setting an intention is, I'm going to lose weight. Here's how much weight I need to lose each month. And this is how I'm going to lose it. Not, I'm just going to lose weight. It kind of becomes a free for all after a certain point. So you have to be very intentional on what you're asking for and what you're trying to do. It can't be vague. It can start off that way, but you need to be very precise on what you're asking for and what you're trying to do. My next thing that 2020 taught me is things are going to get bad before they get good. So when I say that, it might feel like a lot of chaos around you right now, but usually in the end things become a little bit easier. They become a little bit more positive. You might not get the results you wanted, or you do get something close to it or the exact goal, but you gotta go through a lot of chaos first, unfortunately, For me, I would say the chaos was switching to virtual completely. Then reteaching, myself during the classes. Like, we have Zoom meetings. We can't really have face to face tutorial. So essentially, I'm in class, but essentially, I'm still teaching myself because there's only so much I can do in front of a screen and through a screen. Like, the face to face contact, in my opinion, to a teacher is unmatched to what a computer can teach me. And a lot of people are trying to say, oh, you guys are just complaining about virtual learning. It's healthier, it's safer. And I get that. I 100% agree. However, some of us cannot translate from face to face contact to completely virtual. That's a very hard task to do, especially considering for me, I'm used to face to face. I've done face to face for 12 years. Well, 14 if you count my 2 years in college. So we're kind of having to move along. It's a lot of chaos, but I am proud to say that I did pass all my classes this semester. And I'm proud to say that things did get a lot easier. It was a lot of chaos in the beginning due to a lot of grief, a lot of discomfort from the unknown, but it will get better at some point. You just have to hang on and stick positive to yourself. The things are gonna get better. Just keep saying to yourself, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It's not gonna rain every day. It's not gonna be cloudy every day. But it's also not gonna be sunny every day either. You gotta have rain to appreciate the sunny days. You gotta have sunny days to appreciate the rain days. Sometimes you need to get away from all the busyness of life to appreciate the quiet time, or vice versa. And that's perfectly okay. Things do get better, things do get a lot easier. I've lost two of my closest best friends in the past year, and I'm pretty sure I'm the embodiment at this point that things do get better. I am still in college, I am still after my film degree, still live in my dorms, and things are getting a little bit easier. You just have to take things one day at a time and breathe and remind yourself that this is not the end. The next thing 2020 taught me is appreciate the small things. Appreciating the small things can be something as simple as going to the park, going to the gym, going to the library, walking the mall, because at one point we couldn't do that during lockdown. And simple everyday stuff like that I appreciate a little bit more now versus, oh, we always do that. What's so great about it? Or for you, maybe the holiday season just passed, right? Having that face to face contact with family members that you only get to see once a year or every blue moon or far in between, you didn't really get that this year. And that's okay. At the end of the day, your family is safe, things are gonna slowly move better, and we can appreciate the smaller things that we took for granted. Like, a lot of people don't know this, but simple stuff like being able to go to the library, being able to see my teachers in face to face, being able to hang out with my friends, those are little things I couldn't do for a long period of time due to us being in the situation we're in. And it's really hard to be like comfortable with that because it's like, oh, we're all adjusting to it in different ways. But I think we're all gonna appreciate the little things afterwards. Or maybe you put something off and now you don't want to put it off ever again because you don't know in the back of your mind, will it happen again? It is not to, spark chaos or to scare anyone, but I feel like we didn't appreciate things until it's kind of taken away to where you have to sit without it. And that's a really hard thing to come to terms with. So, thank you, 2020, for teaching me to be more appreciative of the smaller things that I kind of took for granted. So, my the next lesson I learned during 2020 is set boundaries. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, what? You're 21. How do you not know how to set boundaries? It is very easy not to know how to set boundaries with people, especially your friends. Sometimes you can overexert yourself in the name of being a nice person or I'm helping them, but in reality, you're not. If you are that friend that when everything goes wrong, they're the first person you call every single time, not anybody else in the group, just you. It's okay to help them, but at some point, people have to learn to fix their own problems. At the end of the day, it is not your job to fix somebody's problem. They are not your responsibility. You have to look out for yourself. And setting boundaries sets the tone for how your friendship, relationship, or your interactions are gonna go. You have to be able to tell people no and not feel bad about it. And don't go back on your word about it. Because they're gonna learn very quickly that this person said this is what they're gonna stick to, and they're not gonna try it again. It's sort of like how parents are. If you know that your parent says no, but in a few minutes they're gonna say yeah, there's no point in you catching an attitude and making a scene. Or if you know if you do that, then in return they're gonna cave in and do it. You're gonna do it every single time. Set respectable boundaries and understand that it's not selfish to think about your self-care. Sometimes we need quiet time, so you're not going to be able to go to every event, every party, or do every little project or help everyone with every little issue. It is okay to say, I cannot do this right now. No, I am busy. No, I am unavailable right now. That is okay. And you have to set those boundaries, or in the long term, it's going to end up hurting you. I had this friend that I had to cut off earlier in 2020 because it was a lack of setting boundaries, and a lot of their problems became my problems that I had to figure out, and I just didn't want to do that anymore. No one's problems are going to become my problems because they don't know what to do. You can give advice, and that's completely different from you taking on their struggles, their hardships, and trying to get them out of it, because at the end of the day, it's kind of like you're giving them a free pass for whatever they did. Because this is the way I see the equation. If person does A, then they will get B, so then they will get C or D. C could be good, D could be good, C could be bad, D could be bad. Either way, your actions have a chain reaction of things that can happen, and you need to be perfectly aware of the consequences or the rewards for each of those actions before you act on them. And that goes for everyone. Like, you have to be able to set your boundaries and stick to your guns about what you mean and what you say to someone. Or else you're going to end up, unfortunately, burning out by giving and giving so much out to someone. Okay, that was a perfect transition to my next one. So, the next one is to teach people how to treat you. So, in the last tip, I was going on about what it means, like when you start to overexert yourself and you're kind of getting people out of their own problems by constantly helping them. If they cannot do it in return, then there is a problem. If this person knows that you're this reliable person, no matter what they do, that you're gonna always be there for them, they're not gonna care about how they treat you versus someone who's like, okay, I know if I do something wrong, I need to make up for it or apologize completely if I really cherish this friendship, because this person will and can cut me off at any time. You see how there's a different balance to that? You have to teach your friends, your family members, your partner how to treat you, because if you don't teach people how to treat you, they're going to do whatever they want at the end of the day and not see a problem with it. Sometimes it can be hard to be introspective unless somebody speaks up and says, hey, this bothered me. Hey, I don't like this. Hey, can you not do it? You guys need to be able to have that conversation and communicate, because if not, they are not meant for you. You do not need to interact with them, and you just need to get rid of them. As simple as that. If I'm not being treated with respect, why would I be going anywhere with you? Like, it's like getting disrespected at work, for example. So, take retail workers, for example. If a retail worker is getting insulted by their boss every day, being cursed out by customers, their coworkers are treating them like trash, what makes you think they're going to stay at that job? At the end of the day, you have to have dignity and pride in yourself and know that your self worth and your value is very, very high. Like, if you don't believe that, I don't know what to tell you. Because people are going to treat you how you have taught them to treat you. You can't keep giving passes to people, you can't keep letting stuff go for quote unquote peace. There is no peace. Okay. Because what you do is, let's say you get into an argument with someone and they just give a simple apology without change. They know if they give you a simple apology, then they're basically just know, oh, all I have to do is say this and they'll shut up. Or, oh, they'll let it go. Or, oh, they're over that because they don't bring it up again. That does not sound like peace to me when you're upset, you're crying, you're angry about it, but you're not communicating to that person. Because by you saying, oh, I'm going to accept it for peace, in reality, you're kind of holding your peace hostage, which is not good because you're not holding them accountable for their actions. You can't keep letting stuff go and go and go because if they're not held accountable for their actions, that person's going to repeat it, and repeat it just in a different way. So hold your people accountable and teach people how to treat you. In 2021, you cannot go in with the same, oh, we're good, we're friends. They can make self deprivation jokes about me. They can talk about me. It is not okay. It is not okay. And if I see it, I'm calling it out. Teach your friends and anyone around you how to treat you with respect. You know, own up to it and say it with your chest. Don't be scared to have confrontation because you don't want to make a scene. If they make a scene, they're going to end up looking crazy. Just quietly and calmly tell them why you're upset. And don't do it in front of everybody because a lot of people can take that as, oh, you're trying to make fun of me, you're trying to embarrass me. Calmly do it. And if they start yelling and screaming, politely walk away, block them, and go about your day. You do not have to disturb your peace because this person feels uncomfortable. Hold your people accountable. Another lesson I was taught in 2020 is be unbothered. And a lot of people are going to be like, what? How can you not be unbothered? It's a very hard thing to learn how to be unbothered. If somebody is talking about you, if somebody is going around saying how you're a bad person, you're this, you're that, acting like high schoolers. And for my high school viewers, it's not an insult to you, it's just you know your classmates. Be unbothered by it. Like, it's a very hard thing to teach yourself to do, but you have to learn to be unbothered. If somebody does something and it makes you mad and you make like a scene about it or you show that it pisses you off, they're gonna keep doing it just to get that reaction. Versus somebody who calmly just handles the situation, because it's different ways you can go about a situation. You don't have to just pop off. I prefer that to be the last thing I do because you don't want to make a scene and make yourself look bad. If you are unbothered, that person is eventually going to leave you alone because they know that there is nothing I can do to get this person to react. And if they don't and they keep going to it, then there is somebody in the higher ups that you can talk to and say, hey, I don't like the way this person is treating me, and report them. For college students, it's RAs. For students, I guess, in like high school, elementary school, middle school, you have teachers, and then if teachers are bullying you, then you can go up to the principal or somebody. It's a long list of people that you can go up to, but don't let everything they do just bother you. Some people just like to see people's reactions, unfortunately, because they are that bored in life. How can I bother this person? Because them getting upset is going to make my day. Them getting mad is going to make my day. Them crying is going to make me laugh. There are people, unfortunately, like that who don't have stuff going on and they just like to see reactions out of people. Don't let them get this high of feeling great because they're getting a reaction out of you. Be unbothered. Like, if they make a post about you and they're making fun of you, act like you don't see it. There's a rumor going around, and somebody comes up to you about it, just be like, I don't care. For high schoolers, if that is going on, you are never going to see these folks again. I almost can guarantee. The people I graduated with in 2018, mind you, that's 2 years ago, I think I've only seen maybe like a handful again. And that was just in passing, so it's nothing against my classmates or against your classmates, but don't let someone ruin your day because they said something or they did something. Be unbothered. Focus on you, girl or boy. Like, start you a business, reorganize your life, maybe start a plant collection. I don't know. Whatever you've been putting off, focus on that. Than to be bothered about what someone says or does about you. Be completely unbothered. Because, like I said in my earlier tip that I learned, well, the earlier lesson, you have to focus on your passions and you have to protect your energy. I am not going to waste my time cursing somebody out, making a scene, and yelling and screaming because they're trying to bother me. At the end of the day, when you start doing that, it kind of makes an even bigger scene. Let them look crazy. Let them look crazy. It will always feel so much better in the long run when they start looking crazy because you didn't react. You're not exerting energy. You're focusing on yourself. Therefore, they're going to look real crazy and look real stupid in the long run. Be unbothered. Okay. The next lesson 2020 taught me is realize that your words have power. So, before I even get started on this lesson, this came up because of self deprivation jokes I kept on seeing like on social media. Stop making those jokes. Like in 2021, we're gonna leave these jokes in 2020, okay? We're gonna leave them. Because while you mean it as a joke, your body and your energy does not know the difference. Okay? They do not know the difference. So if you keep saying, I'm ugly, I'm ugly, I'm ugly, your body is gonna feel like, okay, I'm ugly. Versus you keep saying, I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I'm great, I'm a baddie, I'm confident. Your body's gonna start morphing into that mindset versus a negative one. You have to coach yourself and remind yourself every now and again the person that you are. Because it's easy to get wrapped up in the chaos. And some of it is to blame on society, some of it is to blame on social media, whatever you're intaking. But you have to be aware of what you're saying to people and what you're doing. Understand that, if you speak light into something, it's going to live. If you speak death into something, then it's going to unfortunately die. You have to understand that words hold a deeper meaning versus what we think on the surface. You can't keep telling yourself, oh, I'm ugly, oh, I'm dumb, oh, I'm not smart enough to do that. Why aren't you? That's about to be my real next question all 2021. Why aren't you? And if you have an insecurity about something, like stuff that is normal, like, oh, my nose or oh, my stomach, why? Like, those organs are being used for stuff. Your stomach holds food, so that means you ate good. Your nose smells things. So how would it be if you go into like a store like Victoria's Secret or Bath and Body Works and you can't smell anything? It would be kind of boring. If you're gonna say your legs, well, your legs are the way you get around. Your arms are how you reach for things. Like, these are simple things that we kind of take for granted. Or if you could be like, oh, my hair isn't the goals that I want. So it's ugly, it's ratty, it's nappy. There are so many hair care and hair routines to make it less knotty. But your texture is going to be your texture at the end of the day. We have to learn how to manage our thoughts and manage the energy that we exert on each other and on ourselves. Because in the long run, you have to treat yourself in a way you want to be treated by the environment, society. You have to understand that you are a baddie, you are amazing, you are handsome, you are cute, you got it going on. And if you don't feel like that, then you need to reassess some things in your life and ask yourself, why am I not there? What can I do to get there? What am I overlooking? And appreciate what you do have. So when you get somewhere else, you're like, oh, I've come such a long way. I came from X to Y, and now I have Z. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I hope you appreciated it a lot. So these were lessons for 2020. Comment down below lessons you learned in 2020. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you stick around to see some more videos. I am going to try to be more consistent in 2021. That is one of my goals. And I appreciate 2020 for all the lessons that it has taught me and the people around me. A lot of things were hard and made things a little bit more difficult, but I don't consider it a trash year because I can see the light that came out of it. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to stick around for my next video. Bye.